Welcome back to the stream, everybody. I'm going to be continuing where we left off yesterday. We just finished a bunch of ally missions, and we are now going to do the Alice Fund. And from here, it's pretty much like the game just is, we're super close, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'm pretty stoked. Give me the password. Are you absolutely sure? Again, I will cancel all of your remaining jobs once you've left the rabbit hole. Yes, we're ready. Lay it on me. He breathes a sigh of relief. Excellent. The password is Volkingen. Once you are en route to the rabbit hole with the funds for Alice's payment, I will cancel the team's remaining obligations. Understood. I have to say, pal, this lifts an enormous weight off my shoulders. Monica brought you on board. I was initially unsure about you. Hey, Sam. Would never have said that to anyone else, of course, but I kept you under a watchful eye. I can see now that I needn't have doubted her judgment. She chose her successor well. Now, please, go fetch the information from Alice. He claps a hand on your shoulder. We're one step closer to surviving this mess. We are, and I actually, while trying to figure out how much time was left in the game, I found out what happens to everybody. I'm super sad. Oh gosh, what was it? Volkingen. Oh, like I'm gonna remember how to spell that. Volkingen. There's an I in there. Oh man. Volklingen. Okay. Volklingen. Oh. Okay, I got it right that time. The funds disappear from your account. Moments later, a message pops up on the screen. Transfer complete. Sitting in its dock on the keyboard, a green LED blooms to life on Alice's cred stick. The trigger has been pulled. The rabbit hole awaits. Off we go. Travel to the rabbit hole. Where we're going. Ooh, for a second there I was like, no, don't freeze. Don't die on me. Here we go. Going to the arcade machine. We're going to insert her payment. Cred stick port in the machine greedily accepts your payment. You watch as the black plastic of the cred stick case disappear into the console. Moments later, a message winks on the screen. Yeah, I spoiled the whole ending for myself. And I'm really sad about it. But that's okay. It's okay. I didn't mean to. It just happened. Pow, couldn't wait for you any longer. Something is tracking me, something terrible. Need to get out of town, go dark for a while. If you're smart, you will too, but a deal's a deal. When you punch the flashing button on the console, it'll spit out an optical chip with your information. Take my advice. Whatever this Valclair business is to you, drop it, and run. And for any sake, Pow, stay out of the Matrix. It isn't safe. Alice. The message fades from the screen and a button on the console begins to flash. You can hear the whine of the motors spinning up in the arcade's cabinet guts. With a smooth mechanical motion, a generic brand optical chip slides out on the payment port in front of you. Abruptly, the screen goes black, the console powers down, the optical chip sits in its cradle, waiting for you to take it. The instant that the chip leaves its cradle, the machine reboots itself. You are again alone. As you settle in for your trip back to the cruise bazaar, you can feel the rest of the world compartmentalize and fall away. No more distractions, just you, the train, and the optical chip. It sits in your pocket like a hot stone, impossible to ignore. The train ramps up to speed, filling the air with a monotonous electric whir. The sound is soft and low and urgent, like the droning wings of an enormous insect. It'd be soothing if your mind weren't completely occupied with other matters. Why do we need the insects? Let's not do the insects anymore. All at once, the monotony is broken, your PDA is buzzing. A quick glance at the screen tells you you're receiving a call, and that Paul Amsel is on the other end. Answer the call. You hit the receive button on your PDA. One look at the grinning image that blossoms to life on the screen is enough to tell you that something has gone terribly wrong. The strangled sounds of panic breathing punch through your PDA's tiny speakers. In the image window, you see the outline of figures silhouetted against the backdrop of Amsel's shop. View rotates, bringing them to the center of the frame. Image sharpens. In the center of the screen stands an enormous orc in battle armor, a hand cannon leveled at something just out of frame. His face is a shiny mat of grafted tissue, his smile like something out of a nightmare. I'm gonna scream Paul twice. The orc doesn't respond. You don't hear your own echo over Amsel's microphone either. He must have muted the volume on your end of the conversation. You watch powerless as the orc grin widens, the frantic breaths that you hear coming from the off-screen increase in frequency. From off-screen you hear Amsel's frantic voice. Audrin, please, tell me what this is all about. What are the Firewing's plans? You're going to kill me anyways. Don't send me to the grave without. Your stomach drops as the gun bucks and roars in the orc's hand. Your view of the PDA pitches wildly and then comes to a sudden stop with a violent cracking sound. A burst of static floods the screen. Oh, I'm going to try not to cry here. Moments later, a dark shape falls into view with the equivalent force. You hear the unmistakable sound of bone crunching against hardwood. The camera auto-adjusts and the dark shape swims into focus. You are staring to, and through, the dripping, cavernous ruin of once was a human head. The remnants of the face that remain are enough to confirm that your gut already knows. The body that is on the screen is of Paul Amsel. From out of frame, far away, you can hear another voice. A woman, young from the sound of it, with a military cadence. What now, sir? Now we press on advantage. Jam their comms, Ortega. The sound of hurried motion recede into the background. All right, remember, people. Amsel was the brain of the operation, but the rest will put up a lot more fight. Flush him out, take him down, one by one. Another voice chimes in, a younger man this time. Sir, look at Amsel's wrist. The PDA, I think it's recording. Oh no. You hear the roar of another gunshot, and the screen goes dark. Your vision swims, and the screen of your PDA seems to fade away. The impact of what you just witnessed hammers you in the gut over and over again. Amsel is dead, the crew's bazaar is under attack, and it's entirely possible that an ambush party is already to meet you at the U-Bahn platform. Whatever your attackers have planned, you won't be able to do much about it from here. The train is speeding towards the crew bazaar station. No more stops between you and the enemy. Nothing to do but prepare yourself and wait. That's really sad. Hey, it's Eager. Yo, bro. You're amazing. The barrel of Eager's rifle swings towards you. She emerges from cover, turning to face you. About time you showed up. The light plays off of Eager's face like a streetlight on rain-slick asphalt. Her face, her neck, and chest are sheeted in slick dark liquid. A lot of blood. Are you alright? I'm fine, he only nicked my thigh. Eager wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, and then hoists a corpse from behind the makeshift barricade. A young man, maybe in his early 20s, his eyes frozen wide in surprise. What's left of his throat hangs down in ragged flaps. This, up here, it isn't mine. Nicely done, she shrugs. Well, you know what they say, any weapon at your disposal. Did you meet up with Alice? Do you have the information? Yeah, I got it. An optical chip. We'll have to use my mission computer to open it. Whatever's on that chip, these guys don't want us to read it. All the more reason to do exactly that, after we put the rest of them to the ground, that is. Eager, they killed Paul. I saw it. Her expression hardens. Yeah, I know. Get us all patched in on that call. We all saw what happened. I figured they'd try to ambush you at the platform, ventilate the train, take you out, and cut off a potential escape route in the process, she shrugs. It's what I would do, so I hightailed it out of here and set up an ambush of my own. Good thinking. Thanks. Anyway, that's enough talk. We got a job to do. Eager swings a rifle up over her shoulder. There are an unknown number of hostiles topside. They're well-equipped, decently trained, and hell-bent on killing us. Last I heard, Glory was on the north end of town. Dietrich was out getting coffee when it all happened. Let's go get them. Let's go. Yay! Finally get my +1 action point. I hear a doggy. Oh, is that my doggy? That's my doggy. Yeah. I want Eager. Move here. Okay, you have 4 now. Hey, you leave my doggy alone. My doggy. Don't you touch Dante. No! Leave my doggy alone. Oh, that should have healed Dante. Don't you kill my Dante. Okay. Relied too much on my stuff. Something ahead of you lets out a low, rumbling growl from the shadows, a primal sound that echoes down the snowy streets. It steps into the light. Dante. Even from this distance, you can feel the heat radiating from the enormous dog's body. He locks eyes with you, and you can see the fire burning within him. He takes a step towards you, hackles raised. Eager glances at you. Her voice is calm, but you can see the unease in her face. I forgot to mention, fearless leader, your dog's acting funny. I can see that. Happened fast, too. Just before you got here, I caught sight of him on the way down to the U-Bahn platform. He looked normal enough. And one of these guys took a shot at him, winged him. Big mistake. Dante got mad, real mad. He started shaking and twitching. I saw fire in his eyes. He was on the guy before I could blink. A few seconds later, the shooter was a red smear on the sidewalk, and Dante, eager stabs a thumb in the dog's direction, looked like this. Dante, come. Dante stands his ground, resolute, defiant. His jaw parts, his throat begins to pulse, his mouth goes as if he was stuffed with burning coals. No, Dante, come. You see the dog struggle to obey. He makes a sound that's not quite a whimper. Slowly, the wind begins to shift, and he sniffs the air, looking at you to Eager, then back to you. Acknowledgement washes across his face, and his expression softens. His ears stand back up, and you could swear that you see him smile. Dante takes his place by your side. Well, whatever he is, I'm glad he's on our team. Let's find the others. Exactly. My poor Dante. Is there a way I can heal my poor Dante? My poor Dante. Where's my gear? Oh, his hem points are 70. Okay. Dante is just fine. Let's go save Glory. Okay. Well, I'm not close enough to Bun Bun Glory. Let's move close enough to Bun Bun Glory. Nope. Cannot Bun Bun. Bun Bun her then. What does he do? That's fine. He can't do anything on his round, supposedly. All AP has been lost. Conjurer, Mercenary. Well, we need to take out that Conjurer. She says, took you long enough. We're gonna go wreck her. We're gonna go Washa on him. It missed. We're gonna go run and cover. Ow. Ow. Let's move Dante to a safe place. I'm not losing Poochiekins. I missed the marked target, which is ridiculous. I'm gonna shotgun him. What's gonna happen? Okay, we gotta kill him. He'll Glory. Glory needs to take him out. Wow. We need to take one more shot on him. Okay. Yay. This was bad. Okay. Well, we got everybody together now. Let's save real quick. Go get Dietrich. Okay, good. Dante is with us. Okay. Well, I missed. Whatever. Okay. Eager needs a good defensive position. Mage. Done. Okay. We're here, boss. Is totes true. We're gonna hit this guy. Move Dante all the way in. Oh wait, go to the clinic first? Okay. Well, I can reload. That's not hard. Okay, the door is locked. I think I'd rather go this way anyways. Okay, good. I gotta find Simi. I don't want Simi to be gone or dead. Can't cast haste on any of my party. That's weird. Oh, the bad guys are right there. Oh, I just made a big mistake. Never mind. I didn't make any mistake at all. Okay, much better. Move myself up. I can move Eager into a good position here. Pull out her sniper rifle. Bun anybody? No. But I can go like that. And hit the wrong person. That's cool. I mean, not like it's not the person I wanted. Dante. Petrify the Higher Mage. You missed your petrification. Dante, how could you? Dante, buddy. I needed you not to do that. Oh, there's someone behind us. Oh, that's an experience. I mean, I guess I can get shot. That's not a big deal. We're gonna bun glory. Eager is gonna take a shot. Okay, Glory is gonna come kick this guy in the face. Dante is gonna run forward. Trying to spot this guy. There he is. He's in really good cover. Nice. Hellhounds are great. Glad to see you all made it here alive. Dietrich straightens. His joints cracking under the strain. He takes a step in your direction, expressing grim. Listen, Bros, we've got problems. I saw a group of these guys peel off a few minutes ago. They made a beeline for the sewers. They were carrying bombs, pal. Can't say what yield, but they looked big. Unless you fancy living in a crater, I suggest we hightail it down there. Where's Blitz? He took off with Malit, said something about jamming the attackers' comms. Don't worry about them. We've got to deal with those bombs. Okay, so we're gonna quick save. And we're gonna actually, you said go to the med place. Before the bombs or after the bombs? Let's see. Nope, there's no entrance. Okay, we gotta go down the sewers. Which is fine. I don't mind. Yep, we're heading to sewers. So I know this is timed-ish. We shouldn't take out the bad guys. The ghouls are going to be there to help us. And we need to split into teams, kind of, sort of, and, like, get the bombs, from what I read. I'm gonna take Eager with her. Glory is actually gonna move this way. Peter's gonna support Glory. I think Dante should go with them. Dante should come with us. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. That is, like, nowhere near what I wanted to do. I wanted to shoot a grenade at him, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna die because I accidentally pressed the button. Okay, we're gonna reload this real quick. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made pretty poorly there. I think it should be, yeah, it should be Pow, Dieter, no, Pow and Glory. No, we should have the med kits with, split the groups of the med kits here. Healer dude, med kit, healer dude. No one just dies. From what I read, it said that, like, she'd be able to deactivate it by, like, sniping it. Or, like, shooting it, but that did not deactivate it. I'll tell you that one right now. I don't want to be flanked. Or planning. Yeah, grenade was gonna come. I knew it. There was no damage. Oh. I didn't work. We can go over to fuse it and run back. That works. Move Dante back. We not killed Dietrich? These things. Okay. Gotta fuse the bomb. Get up there and defuse that bomb in 7 rounds. I don't know if I'm gonna... I think I've spread everyone too thin. Whoa. I hit from pretty far away there. My question is, how? From what I've read, you do not want to use summons in here because if they lose control, they count as someone dying and you lose the match. Really? Seriously? That's possible? I call BS on that one. Like, how can you throw a grenade that far? Seriously. And through a hole in the wall. Like... On big BS on that one. I think that's that. I think we probably lost this. I can't get anyone over there fast enough. I think I have a cybernetic leg I forgot to use. Yeah, I'm dead. I just defuse it and run in cover, so hopefully find cover somewhere. We're so far spread out. I don't see myself surviving this at all. Just gonna go put her in the corner. That's not exactly what I wanted. That's great. Accuracy minus 10. Like, that's not like negative at all, man. What kind of position's not gonna get me killed? Well, that's great. Hope they could have actually done something that. Okay. Stop shooting my things. My people. How does he hit the 8% miss 3 times in a row? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. We're all alive. Barely. Yeah. So Dante. That's cute. So I have Jerky to heal Dante. Okay. Well, we almost lost everyone there. Yeah, he heals my cookie treats. I thought that was really cute. We're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna go head to the med place, see if we can buy some meds too. But seriously. Seriously. Oh, I'm automatically here. Okay, well that's not what I wanted. Once again, the team gathers around Paul Amsel, but tonight he has no more missions to offer and no advice to give. The schools help so much. His body lies motionless on the hardwood floor, cooling in the night air. The ruin of his face has been hidden under a burlap tarp. For several minutes, nobody speaks. Finally, Dietrich steps forward. I think we should say something about Paul. There's another moment of silence, then Eager speaks up. I'll go. Eager brings herself to attention, stares straight ahead. Paul Amsel was an important member of this team, and he supported us well. He said what he was going to do, and he did it. That's rare, that's worthy of respect. She looks down at the body, and there's a long pause before she speaks again. Thank you, Paul Amsel, for everything. Another pause, and her voice softens. I was out of position when they came for you. I couldn't save you. I'm sorry. The others shift uncomfortably, not knowing what to say. Lori breaks the awkward silence, her voice a frosty monotone. I appreciate what Amsel did for us. It's another loss, that this team can't afford. Gloria's eyes sweep across the group and then land on Amsel's body. Her expression is impossible to read. After a moment, she turns her head to look at you. Losing people is hard, no denying it. Paul was a good member and will be missed. Dietrich nods his head in agreement and crosses himself. Yeah, he was good. Goodbye, Paul. And then words I can't pronounce. Gingerly, Blitz steps forward. His hair is mussed and there's a fresh bullet hole in his jacket. He smells like smoke and blood and still sweat. And his hands tremble as he takes them out of his pockets. Well, I didn't know Paul as well as the rest of you, but he seems like a good guy. He shuffles his feet. I didn't want to see this happen at any rate. You okay, Blitz? Looked like you and Malit saw some action back there. Yeah, his eyes remain fixed on Amsel's body. I'll live. As if in turn, Dante lowers his head sadly, lets out a heavy sigh, and closes his eyes. We'll miss you, Paul. Don't worry about the body, I know what to do. Be respectful, but be quick. After all, it's only a shell. Paul is with Monica now. We're all gonna be with Monica soon if we don't do something. The Firewing came after us once, she'll do it again. She doesn't care if she brings... No, I think it's about the Seth state. Aren't you being a little dramatic? I don't think she is eager love. I really don't. Come on, everyone. Let's get a look at that optical chip. I want to see what we're dealing with. I want to save first. Then I want to go the other direction. Run on out. I'm going to do speed loader. The RAF. I'm going to do the kit. I'm going to do mark target. We're going to save. I want to see everyone who's dead. Oh, good. At least Sam's not dead. Aleski Lane looks to have endured the attack on the Cruise Bazaar without injury. You find him surveying the damage with his eyes. You alright? Troll shakes his head heavy, showing more weariness than wound. This should have never happened. Not here. It's one thing to strike an old man whose time is done, but to attack the Cruise Bazaar and endangering the lives of innocents, that is unforgivable. The cowards who ordered this attack are dead, and they just don't know it yet. There was a time I thought as you do, but I'd made a vow to never make war again. Yet if you hadn't been here to do so, we would all be dead. For the Cruise Bazaar to remain safe, it needs people like you. We're gonna leave him. We'll talk to Sam. Make sure Sam's okay. Pal, what a relief to see you alive. He wraps you in an enormous hug. You should know that your generosity has saved dozens of lives. What happened? When the attackers came, we all took refuge in the Pacific... I love that, Pacific Center. Its strong walls and sturdy gate kept us all safe from harm. Had our people been on the street, had they been in our old building, which came under fire during the attack, none of them would be alive. We owe you, Pal, more now than ever. You may not look upon yourself as a hero, but to the people of Cruise Bazaar, that is what you'll always be. How's Alexander doing? Oh, well. Anything else? Okay. Well, I'm glad that there's Zach Flash. Simmy's not here. Simmy's probably in the med bay. No, there's Simmy. Talk to Simmy here. The aftermath of the attack, you were surprised to see Simmy Kim has survived. Only a few scrapes and bruises. You saved us. As many as I could. So many more would have been gone if you hadn't been here. Are you hurt? I lost my shoe when I was running, and then I fell. But Doc Ezekiel found me. He picked me up and took me with him. He hid me in a drawer, gave me a blanket, and told me to be quiet. It was so dark and it smelled, but I didn't make a sound. I heard yelling, things breaking, and gunshots, I think. But if I had one of my Sims, I could have just gone inside, but I didn't, so I had to stay out here. I just don't know. I don't know how long it was, but when the drawer opened, it was over. See, the doc owed you one. I guess so. I'm gonna go check on the others. Okay. Phone booth has anything? Let's check down here. Well, it's her, I don't care. Let's talk to Zach. That was terrifying. Who were those guys? They were shooting at everyone. I spent the entire fight hiding in a dumpster. Anyway, thanks for chasing him off, pal. I owe you. He bites his lip. The anxiety's plain in his face. I guess that we all do. Okay. He's just a vendor. I don't know who this is or who that is. We'll go to the clinic. Talk to the doctor. How? He gives you a once-over and nods. I see that you made it through the attack relatively unscathed. Did you have any run-ins with the attackers? No, truth be told, I was in surgery when the attackers hit, and they never disturbed my office. I spent the entire sorry event elbows deep in an abdomen of an elderly dwarf. Her nephretic screen needed a tune-up. That's funny. Simi Kim tells a different story. The sound of Simi name wipes the smile from his face. He stares at you, the color draining from his cheeks. Ah, yes, Kim. I didn't know that you two were acquainted. Which is it, Doc? Were you sealed up in your office for the attack, or did you help her out? Why lie, Doc? I'm going to say that one. You saved her. If anything, I'd think you'd brag about it. It wasn't a lie, not completely. I was working on a patient when the fight broke out. When I heard the gunshots, I ducked out of my office to find the girl. When I got back, I hid her away and went back into surgery. Thanks to a copious dose of isoflurane and nitrous oxide, my patient was blissfully unaware of the interaction. Simi also said that she heard gunshots and breaking glass. Care to revise your story? His lips tightened into states. Please don't call her that. Her name is Kim. And yes, an attacker did break in partway through the operation. He fired his weapon into the wall and shattered some delicate equipment. And how'd you get rid of him? That will remain my secret. Suffice it to say that my experience in Spain gave me a newfound appreciation for high, lethal security systems. Let your imagination run wild from there. There's a long pause. He tries on another smile, but it falls away quickly. I don't intend to spend any longer on this, pal. I've already said my piece. I feel a certain level of responsibility for Kim's welfare, never mind why, so I take care of her as best I can. That's all that I intend to say on the subject, so we can talk shop or you can leave, your choice. I need medical supplies. I need the 2 trauma kits I spent. I need those guys. I need that. I need that. I need that. And that. And that. And that. And that. And that. Cool. Feel great about that. I feel very, very full again. See the gun dude. We're going to talk to the gun dude. We're going to talk to Algernon. Cafe. Go back to our crib. I'm glad to see you made it through the attack. Not all of mine were so lucky. Are you okay? No, I lost Denise today, but I'm going to do a lot better than our attackers are. Those guys hit the wrong guys. I put 6 of them on the ground personally, and when I found out who they are, where they lived, he turns his head. Ain't gonna save those people. He shakes his head. And he returns his attention to you. But you didn't come here to listen to me rage. You're after a bit of payback yourself, I'll wager. So what can I help you? Let me look at your weapons. So we have a +8 and a +9. We're gonna think about that. So what is mine right now? +6. The answer's missing. What guy looking to buy? Oh, well, it sounds like they didn't bother her at all. Salutation, youngster. I believe the Cruise Bazaar is still standing thanks to you. No big deal. Some people needed saving, and I saved them. I'm sure that task was effortless. I extend my appreciation nonetheless. Now tell me, how may I serve you? I'm buying your inventory, I think. I'm gonna do a street monk. Acid Bolt 3 in my stash, like, 2 times? That's weird. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna get the ranged combat that I need. But I can get level 6 spellcasting is what I need. Level 6 conjuring. I think we're gonna do level 6 spellcasting. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to do level 4 decking, I think, just because it seems an average number, but a lot of stuff it is. Okay. Re-talk to him. I'm going to do Mana Ball 2. Cool. That looks pretty good. Need some more options. The Turk, his pale, his eyes sunken into his head, are ringed by dark circles. We are closed today, Effendi. I would have locked the door, but the lock is broken. Now I must stand guard. You were attacked? He nods silently. During the attack on the cruise bazaar, they broke through the door, heavily armed, 2 of them. They broke through the door and they just started shooting. No questions, no robbery, just shooting. Cammy, my girl, my little street rat. He held his hands over his face, collects himself. I reached under the counter. I keep a gun there, you see, and they saw. Both of them turned on me. Goldschmidt, that fat idiot Goldschmidt, flung himself in my way. How he managed to move that great mass of body so quickly is a mystery to me. He hung there, suspended in time as they shot him, dancing under bullets as they ripped him apart. But he shielded me long enough, Effendi. I was able to get my gun and end those guys. I'll get them, I promise. Of course you will, my friend, of course you will. Someone has tread on the tail of a sleeping snake, and we have been bit. Now its head must be removed, or our little Kais will fall. Still, it's good for us, I think. Healthy, it reminds us that even though we were created our little island of stability in the Cruise Bazaar, there's still the Flex State, still Berlin, and the wolf is always at the door. If we are to keep our home, we must be vigilant, and we need people like Monica, people like you, to keep it safe. Sag Olun, my friend, be healthy, be strong. Man, that sucks. The attack was terrible, Pow. So much death. She shakes her head. I have not killed since I retired from running shadows. Not until today. But you are here not to listen to me and complain. She forces a smile. What can I get for you? Name it and we'll provide it. I don't need anything. I just wanted to check up on them. Okay, so I think I've got some good spells, some good armor, some good healing. I have some options to smack on other people. Keep them safe. I can continue on with this mission. I have one unread message. Yeah, I just don't care now. It's the end of the game. Slot the optical chip into the computer's waiting chip jack. On the screen, Alice's office blossoms into view. A half second later, a real-time simulation of Alice appears seated behind her mahogany desk. Something about it reminds you of a figure from a wax museum. Lifelike, but dead inside. It greets you with a facsimile of Alice's joyless smile. Customer name, Pow. Its voice is hollow synthetic, an automation masquerading as a living woman. One who you've never met in the flesh. Account number 1012579. Greetings, valued customer. I am an offline simulacrum of Alice's persona. I have been included on this chip to answer any questions that you might have about your information purchase. Nifty piece of tech. Not now, Blitz. If you are ready to proceed, I will present Alice's findings. You may interrupt this presentation at any time by saying, Alice, I have a question. We're ready. Let's go. Very well, commencing presentation. The simulacrum goes rigid for a moment, and then seems to relax. When it speaks, it sounds more natural, as though the real Alice is speaking through it. Alright, Pow, I've got good news for you, and I've got bad news. Let's start with the good news. I found Beauclair, and he is alive. The trail to your missing doctor was a long and slippery one. The fee that you paid me barely covered my costs for the jobs. I sent a team into the SOX on a fact-finding mission. I bribed government officials and greased the palms of wage slaves at megacorps all across Europe. Each step I took eliminated possibilities, drew me a little bit closer, and finally I found a place where Beauclair is being held. The simulacrum makes a sweeping gesture with its right hand, an image switchblades onto the screen, a grainy overhead photograph annotated with map coordinates. You recognize it immediately. This is where you find them. He's being held captive at a remote estate called the Harfield Manor. You gotta be kidding me. He was there the whole time? Glory says nothing. She studies the photograph and nods. Okay, nobody tell me. I get it. This is something I missed. Alice, I have a question. It hitches again and you can feel the life drain of it. It looks up at you robotically. You have a question, alright? Please make your inquiry known. What evidence do you have to support this? One of my assets at the Trans Neuronet provided me with a video feed dated 10/10/2053. The feed was taken by a corporate surveillance drone. Playback commencing. The screen is filled with a grainy black and white video feed. You recognize the manor, photographed from high above. The camera pushes in and the image sharpens. Through a barred ground level window, you can see the shape of a stooped, emaciated figure. His body shows clear signs of neglect. The figure is unmistakable. It's Beauclair, 20 years older and worse for wear. The skin hangs loose on his bones. His cheeks are hollow. There is a distinct gray pallor to his skin. That's Beauclair, right? What's left of him, anyways. It doesn't like they've been feeding him much. He shakes his head. Poor guy. Another figure steps in the frame behind Beauclair, an orc. He turns his head slightly and his thin graphs catch the light. He slowly turns to face Audrin and the video feed cuts out. Do you have another question? What else did you turn up the manor? Seismological data and thermal imaging confirmed the existence of a large hollow chamber under the estate. It was my suspicion that Dr. Beauclair is being held somewhere within the substructure. If Firewing kept Beauclair trapped there for almost 20 years, she's got to have a reason for it. It takes effort and resources to lock a man away for that amount of time. So what's her endgame in all of this? Why not just kill him and be done with it? Alice? Revenge? Who knows? Remember, this is what the man who shot her down. He sent her crashing to a radioactive wasteland. If somebody did that to me, I'd want to hurt him too, and I'd make it last. I think it goes deeper than that. According to Winter's DVD, he designed the experimental weapon that shot her down, and the weapon split her body from her essence. Lori glances down at her own steel and chrome arms and suppresses a shudder. If I had to guess, I'd say she's trying to make him fix whatever he did to her. That makes sense to me. Moment of silence as the group processes Glory's suggestion. Before anyone can speak, the AI cuts back in. Do you have another question? No more. Very well. Feel free to interrupt again with any future inquiries. It pauses, and a brief tremor washes over her body. Eyes flutter, and you can hear the sound of your computer working to process more of the data's chip. Eager turns to the rest of the team. If Beauclair's at Harfield, we've got problems. Last time we broke into the place, they took Monica out. It was a miracle that any of you got out alive. Yeah, but now we know what's down there. This time we'll be prepared. We can handle this. She shakes her head. No, it'll be even worse this time. The first time we went in, we had an element of surprise on our side, but now they're expecting us. They're hunting us, remember? The security team is going to be waiting for us, Dietrich. The Audrin guy is going to be waiting for us. And even if we make it past them, we're going to have to deal with the dragon in the basement. Well, what else can we do? Cut and run? Last time I checked, that wasn't an option either. Even if it were, I wouldn't take it. I'm not running from this. Not after what they did here tonight. I agree with Dietrich. No guts, no glory. The AI jerks back to life. It resumes speaking, blissfully unaware of the conversation it was cutting off. Now, Pow, on to the bad news. You know where Beauclair is, but rescuing him will not be possible. Alice, I have a question. He continues without waiting for response. Why not? In the course of my investigation, I encountered something terrifying in the Matrix. It was fast, cunning, and very definitely intelligent. I'm convinced that I only escaped because it let me go. It could have killed me in a heartbeat if it wanted to. The thing that I met is protecting the manor, and it's going after anyone who gets too close to what's happening there. Alice, where did you see this? What is going after these people. By way of explanation, I would like to read the following document. The AI makes a sweeping gesture, and the menu slides back to the screen. This time, it's filled with text. What you're looking at is an archive forum discussion from the early days of the Shadow BBS. Blitz stares at the text on screen. It isn't kidding, Chief. The discussion is dated back 2036. That's ancient history in the decking community. It probably isn't even correct to call these guys deckers. Hackers would be a more appropriate term. When you finish reading it over, say, Alice, I'm done, and we can continue. Dealeen, you read the text. You hear all about the SK that got crisped a few hours ago. A whole lab's worth of researchers, all burned and broken beyond recognition. Ugly stuff. Power spike got them through their gyro jacks like a bolt of lightning to the brain. A 1 in a million accident is what they're saying. Can you believe it? Got more a plausible explanation? Yes, actually, it's a cleanup operation. Color me intrigued. What are they cleaning up? A secret project that Lofir didn't want anything to do with. You might have heard about it. The project name was Apex. And you've lost me. Apex Clockwork? Seriously, the old line of Drek? I'm telling you, jokers, Apex is real, or at least it was, until the Whizworm pulled the plug. Come on, Clockwork. We're still decades away from seeing a fully functioning AI. You know that. Those Apex stories have been floating around. They're just some conspiracy nuts. Dreams. I'm sorry. Fine, keep your heads in the sand. Some of us know the truth when we read it. Okay, Clock, I'll humor you, but riddle me this. If Lofir had an armed and Operation AI in his claws, why kill it? You remember what happened to most of Echo Mirage? The crash virus killed them, fried their brains, but I don't see what this has to do with anything. The commercial release of the CDT-1000, some security firms are working on counter-intrusion software that could do the same thing. Black IC. You can look it up if you don't believe me. Whoa, scary stuff, man. Well, the goal of the Apex project was even scarier. IC waits for you to come to it. Apex wouldn't be bound by those restrictions. It could go out hunting, hit its targets when they least expect it. That's why they called it Apex. It's designed to be an apex predator of the digital world. And so rather than using it to his advantage, Lofir decided to kill it in the cradle? The Whizworm's no fool. Some things are too dangerous to play around with. How would you put that genie back in the bottle if it ever slipped out of your control? Answer, you couldn't. And then it would take over the world! Okay, this thread has officially gone off the rails. I'm closing it down for the good of mankind. Alice, I'm done. AI jerks back to life and then settles into a neutral pose. There are no official records of the SK database to support the existence of the Apex project, but the thing I encountered was Apex. Of that, I am certain. Just as I am certain that Apex was responsible for the deaths of Monica, Winters, Clockwork, Peregrine, and a score of other Deckers over the last 16 years. He raises his head. Hold up, Alice, I have a question. Thought you said Lofir killed Apex. They speculated as much, yes. They were wrong on that count. I do believe that SK was developing Apex as a tool for matrix warfare. I'm convinced that the IT personnel who were killed were the Apex development team, but I don't think that Lofir was responsible for their deaths. Apex killed them. That'd be my guess, yes. In the turmoil surrounding Lofir's buyout of SK, a number of projects went missing. I believe Apex was appropriated by a member of Firewing's organization at this point. It was then unleashed on its own development team to silence them. Since then, it's provided information control for the Firewing. A pet AI, that would explain Firewing has managed to maintain her conspiracy and avoid detection over the past 2 decades. Anytime anyone gets close, the AI takes them out and scrubs the records clean. So here's your bad news, pal. While Claire is being held at the Halford Manor, but knowing that does you no good because you can't approach the place. I doubt that you could open the door without Apex frying you. We did last time. They were trying to protect their secret, like Audrin said. If we hadn't gone down into the basement, they'd have let us go. Apex didn't react until Monica attempted to force the door to the basement. And now the cat's out of the bag, they have no reason not to pull out the big guns on site. He grimaces. You're right, we can't go back while Apex is in place. The room falls into silence. Finally, Eager turns to you. What's the play, pal? We can't turn back. If Apex is standing between us and Valclaire, we need to find a way to kill Apex. I'm in. Did you hear that, Alice? Do you have any suggestions? The AI hitches again. The pause stretches. Finally, it comes back to life. The AI has a kill switch, but Alice deemed any additional contact with the Apex to be an unjustifiable risk. Attempting to reach the kill switch would be inadvisable. I'll be the judge of that. Alice tells us about the Apex's kill switch. Thanks to my close encounter with the AI, I was able to run a trace on it. Through this trace, I discovered the physical address of a backdoor access point of Apex's programming, an old SK's research lab, long since abandoned and fallen to disrepair. The facility is hotly contested gang territory. I've also determined that a kill switch for the AI exists somewhere in the basement of this facility. I'll provide you with a physical address. I don't like the smell of this, Chief. It says Apex let Alice escape. He turns to address the AI on screen. Alice, why would a Matrix warfare AI allow you to run a trace on it? Stare straight, its eyes are dead. I'm afraid that the answer to the question falls outside the scope of my written parameters. You have now reached the end of this presentation. I have been encoded with a final message from Alice to Pow. Playback commencing. The AI eyes go wide and life floods back into him. It stares directly at you. Pow, if you don't listen to me before, listen to me now. Drop this. Stop going after Valclaire. Get out of Berlin. Stay out of the Matrix. I'm telling you this for your own good. This is all I have to say. I'm following my own advice. I'm out. Don't try to contact me again. The eye reverts to its idle state, slumped like a puppet with its strings cut. Its eyes glaze over and its face falls back. Then the screen cuts to black. Well then. I know what I'm doing. So Dragon has a killer AI in charge of security. I can't say I'm surprised, but then nothing surprises me anymore. We know what killed Monica. We have a name for it, and we know how to kill it. That's good enough for me. We know what we have to do. We can either stand around talking about it, or we can go do it. We've lost enough already. The only way to guarantee it is to kill the Firewing Pow, and we can't do that without Valclaire. The AI is standing between us, and that's what we need. If we want to save our own lives, we're going to have to do something about Apex. I still say that all this is crazy talk, Chief. Taking on an AI isn't a bad idea. It's suicide. So my vote is cut and run. Let's surveys the rest of the team, sees determination in the faces. Finally, he sighs. But if we're really going to do this, you'll want the best decker you can find along for the ride, and I guess that nominates me. Woo. Alice said the kill switch is located at some SK facility. Assuming that the site was shut down sometime after the Apex project disappeared, it could have stood empty for years, maybe decades. She also said the building was in gang territory. I wonder if it's anything like Das Kasselhaus was. I hope not. There's only one way to find out. Let's get prepared, or let's get prepped. The thing isn't going to kill itself. Blitz glances at you. The worry is painted all over his face. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you'd better bring me along. You try going up against an AI without a Nova Hot Decker at your side, you're probably going to regret it. Eager begins her weapons checks. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Whatever's there, we'll deal with it. First, we'll find our way into the basement. She peers at the scope of her sniper rifle, and then we kill the AI that killed Monica. Right. The team breaks up to begin gearing up. As she slides her shell into her shotgun, Eager catches your eye. You did good work out there, defending the Cruise Bazaar. We've had our backs the entire way. Make good decisions. In this job, we work together or die alone. True. You're right again. Anyway, we should get back to it. We've got an AI to take out after all. She pauses a moment, frowning. Pow, do me a favor and keep your eyes open on this one. We're walking in the unknown here. Makes me a little easy. Don't worry, Eager. I've got your back. I know you do, and I've got yours. You've more than earned it. You too, Eager. Without another word, the troll slides her shotgun into the sheath on her back, turns to continue her pre-mission checklist. Okay? I guess. We quickly see what our friends say, and then we run away and go do this mission. Lori. Got a job to prepare. Hit me up. I need some space. That's nice. That makes it easier. We already know Eager's preparing. Dietrich has what? Any updates on Alexander? Okay, nope. At least we know he didn't die in the attack. Okay. We're gonna skedaddle on out of here. Okay, there are issues on the Apex mission. Okay. So I have to have a Decker. I'm gonna have Glory. Oh, I love Dante. But we're gonna take Dietrich. I wish we had more room. I'd have Dante, I'd have everybody. I would have my team. Be that simple. Because they're my team. Ooh, that was my new phone falling off the desk. Each orc in ragged combat fatigue step forward to meet you. He walks with the swollen bravado of a man who's used to getting what he wants. One of his meaty arms jerks up, hand held up right in the universal sign for stop. The other clutches a bulky assault rifle. The orc inspects you. His body language is decidedly unfriendly. You don't look like a magnificer? I don't know. Magni. We're gonna call him Magni. You're not one of us, and I'm guessing you ain't here for the hub either. So tell me, what are you doing? What's your interest with this building? We want to go in the basement. Oh, it's important, you say. He makes a sweeping gesture in the direction of the building behind him. The other assorted toughs behind him smile. Well, by all means, go on in. You're being sarcastic. Ah, you're a sharp one. He smiles at you, revealing a mouthful of jagged teeth. The building's under arbiter protection. We can't just let you waltz in and shoot up the place. I'm not planning on shooting anything unless I have to. Yeah, well, I can't exactly take that at face value. Look, I'd be better for everyone if you just turn back. We don't want to fight you, but we can't risk letting an unknown player into this situation right now. Maybe I could help you with the situation. That puts a different spin on things. He pauses for a moment to consider. You like you can handle yourself. We could probably use you. If you'd be willing to help, there's even some money in it for you. If not, well, that's a different conversation. What do you want us to do? We have some trouble with the local mage gang, the Magni. They attacked us without warning, took up in our building, and kicked us into the street. Me and my boys were the rifled prospectors of this block, but these people messed us up. They've got the building buttoned up pretty tight. We can't get in there to make things right, but maybe you can. You can enter the building and do some damage to those Magni. The arbitrators would be willing to pay you 200 union per kill. You bring back their amulets, and you get paid. How's that sound? Your call, pal. You know the timetable we're working on. I think you can do better. 250 per head. Works for me. Good. Yeah, I think this will work. Laura gives you a small nod. The blades slide back into her fingertips with a click. Need anything else, or are you ready to crack some skulls? You think you should know about the building? You'll probably see some burnouts floating around the ground floor. They're all there for the hub. It's like some kind of church or something. A guy called Parson runs it. Between you and me, they're all crazy. Not dangerous, just crazy. Why'd you keep them around? Because a lot of them are rich. They paid a direct load in rent, and we redistribute the wealth to the common man. I guess I can support that. I need to get in the basement. Anything you can help with that? What could you possibly want to go down there for? Can you get me in or not? Yeah, I can help, but it'll cost. Yeah, of course it will. He sneers. Another Bush League extortionist trying to milk us for the cash. You've got the wrong idea. I don't need you, friend. What I need is Trithmegius's head on a platter. Problem is, he's holed up somewhere in the building and we don't know where. Best guess he's hiding somewhere upstairs in a room with no exterior windows. Somewhere, probably some place close, he stashed the power coupling for the elevator. He pulled it to keep us from getting access to the guns we stashed in the basement. So you find and kill him, grab the coupling out of his apartment, and bring me that stupid amulet he's always wearing, so I know he's dead. He cracks again. I wish I had that. Alright, I can see what I can do. Just remember, no amulet, no basement. Now go through and show that guy what we're made of. It's gonna be a tough fight. Probably. There's Parson. The attendant behind the counter is uncommonly fine-featured dwarf with a beatific smile. A yellow ID tag pinned to his chest says Parson. Welcome to the hub, sister. Are you here to share the splendor of communion? If so, I can show you an empty terminal. Can you tell me about this building? It's a hub. What about the upper levels? There are floors above us, but unlikely to find anything of value up there. Just the domiciles of the faithful and the magi who have taken charge of the building. I'd steer clear of them if I were you. You need to get to the basement. It'd be difficult. The stairway leading down to the basement sublevel has been blocked and later been sabotaged. It stopped working at the same time that the arbiters were driven from the building. Of course, the gang leader is probably your best bet. Ultric is right out front. Or you'd be willing to do me a favor. I could tell you how to find his hideout. What favor? A pair of squatters on the second floor ripped the guts out of one of my terminals. They've taken the high data jack signal converter, and the terminal will be out of commission until I get it back. The single damaged terminal may not sound like much, but trust me, the entire experience of communion has been diminished at the act of vandalism. I believe I know the squatters responsible. The leader's name is Janet. She's a decker of some skill. I don't know what she's planning for my parts, but I do know that the situation will not stand. I cannot allow another terminal to be damaged. And we'll deal with them. But not with violence. I want you to talk to them and convince them to bring back my components. Do this and I'll show you. Sure. I don't need anything else. I don't want to read anything else, really. What it boils down to. This is really weird. Let's quickly go through Carl. Welcome to Carl's General Store. What can I do for you? Need some info. What do you want? The layout of this place. Well, you're on the first floor of the hub and my shop. The second floor is mostly being converted into makeshift apartments. The gang squats up there. Third floor is housing too. Lots of Parsons community crazies live up there. The Magi knifers. The Magi squat up there. I'm pretty sure the main crib is up there too. Don't know exactly where. That's all I need to know. Your inventory. Okay. We don't really care. Yeah, there's no way for us to use the elevator. Go to second floor. We'll clear the second floor and then we'll go to the third floor. Your decker pops the casing off the door control panel and quickly overrides the lock. The lock opens with a click. It's not letting me get the prompts here. A middle-aged woman with chocolate-colored skin and her shoulder-length dreadlocks look up from her PDA with a start. She's decked out in form-fit body armor, and in a flash, her assault rifle goes from slung to held ready. Who are you, and how did you get through the door? I use my charm, and natural musks gets them every time. She gestures with the rifle. Cut it, and start talking. What do you want, and why are you here? Parson sent me. He wants his hardware back. She shakes her head violently. No way. Those parts are keeping us online, and not just us, but everyone worth a union in this hole. Parson can keep running his ridiculous little cult just fine with what he's got, but us, we're the only major connection these people have. Look, those parts can't be irreplaceable. Let me take a look at your terminal. Maybe we can figure something out. Alright, the terminal's in the back room. Take a look. But if you rip us off, we're gonna regret it. I understand. Examine the terminal to see if the signal converter can be removed without disabling it. At the moment, it's impossible to remove the part without disbanding the terminal. The converter is required so the signal terminal can be interpreted by the jack data's user. Have my teammate examine it. The converter is a pretty specialized piece of hardware, but the data jack impulse transmitter is a widely available piece of equipment. And could be converted to work in its place. Step away. So we can tell her that. We can fix the part, cobble you a new one actually, but you'll need an impulse transmitter. You could do that. Jury-rig one for us? That'd be amazing. Don't get too excited, it's love. We still need the part. I'll bet you could get one from Carl down on the ground floor. No one else around here would have anything like that. Well, except for Parson, of course. He's got more replacement parts than he knows what to do with. I'll see what I can find. I think we'll go ask Carl. Looking for an impulse transmitter. Should cut me a deal. Why would I do that? The part is pretty specialized and expensive. Who else is going to need it around here? Or afford it? I'll give you 500. 500. Here you go. Thank you. We're going to leave now. Got it right here. Just have to go install it. About time someone has had some good news around here. That should have an S. Go ahead and install it right away. Modify the impulse transmitter and replace the signal converter with it. After a few minutes of work, the transmitter is modified and installed. You now have the converter and the terminal still working. Cool beans. All fixed up. Everybody wins. You got your terminal and I've got my parts. We see the tension drain out of her. Thank you. I'm glad this could end up without bloodshed. There's been enough of that around here. Yeah, sure looks that way. There you go. All done. Go down, do the Parson thing, come back up, hurry through this. Because seriously. This... Don't need more of this. Curve the parts for your terminal. Excellent, my sister. Let me see them, if you please. Person's smile disappears at the moment as he studies the part. His brow froze in concentration. As suddenly as it disappeared, the smile returns. Yes, these are the parts that I need. Thank you, friend. I trust there was no trouble. Were you able to attain it without bloodshed? Of course. We never spill blood when we don't have to. Oh, it's a bit long? Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna have to cut here then, if it's a bit long. I just don't have the stamina. Oh, that is wonderful news. Truly wonderful. And now I have the end of my deal to uphold. If you're still hell-bent on meeting this guy, take the stairs to the 3rd floor. You'll find an abandoned apartment at the end of the hall. Look for the stylized M painted on the wall. It looks like 2 crude lightning bolts facing one another. That's his personal sigil. There's an old bookcase in the very back of the apartment. Under the 2nd shelf of the bottom, you'll find the button that opens to his hideout. How do you know all of this? Because the abandoned apartment was once mine. In the days before I discovered the piece of the communion, I was a different man, and I needed such contrivances. Contrivances? I don't know. But no more. Finally, I'm at peace. Okay. I don't think I need anything else. Well, we'll save here then. Game save, game save. Save a new game slot. But we'll work on the Apex mission tomorrow. I just, knowing that it's a long mission, that it's probably a good idea to just have like all of it done at once. So thank you so much for joining me today for this part of the stream. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to finish the Apex stream. I do have to be done before 4 o'clock though, because I have to be somewhere by 4. So I'll try and start a little early tomorrow so we can get a good playthrough in. And then Saturday, hopefully Space and I will be able to stream some more Stardew. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.